All right, what is up, everybody? We are live Indianapolis. We're back at the Oval Brickyard 400, back in full effect. So let's see what the paint schemes look like. The link, if you want to follow along with the paint schemes, is down in the chat. Be a Moose. Ross Chastain in the fraternal Moose order. Chevrolet Camaro, red and black, good looking scheme. Discount tire, we've seen that one before on Austin Cindric in the number 2. CenixTools.com for Austin Dillon today. Sort of a off blue, a darker off blue, black and orange there for Austin Dillon. Panini trading cards with Caitlin Clark on the hood there for the number 4 of Josh Berry. Caitlin Clark and the WNBA All-Stars taking down Team USA last night as well. HendrickCars.com, the Kyle Larson 1,100 paint scheme that he didn't get to run in Charlotte. He's going to run it here today at Indianapolis. Bodyguard and Fastnell on the side of Brad Keselowski, orange and black here today. Gainbridge number 7 for Corey LaJoy, the familiar yellow and blue colors, but that car always looks good. Let's see here. Cheddar's is going with a USA paint scheme here for Kyle Busch. Funny that they're 7 and 8. I didn't even think about that with all the controversy this week. But yeah, red, white, and blue. Good looking scheme there for Kyle Busch. All white car once again for Chase Elliott. So he seems to be alternating between like his mainly blue and white car here today. AAA batteries on the side of the car here for the Napa Chevrolet of Chase Elliott. Winchester rifles on the side for Noah Gregson, and the number 10 Bass Pro Shops Ford Mustang Dark Horse. Sport clips on the side for Denny Hamlin. We've seen that one before. Got some red on the hood. Atlas designer shingles on the Menards Ford Mustang of Ryan Blaney. The number 14 of Chase Briscoe, High Point Ford. High Point sticking with their guy. Cody Ware driving the Zeem, Zeam Ford. A bright color scheme here, just different shades of gray and teal, fading into a light blue toward the back here. Good looking car. I like the car. Looks really good there for Cody Ware. 16 Campers in RV of AJ Allmendinger here today. I don't know, like a little green and white checkered flag there at the back. Got a little guy standing there on the back of the car too. So that's pretty cool. I do like the scheme. It sort of reminds me of Holiday Inn, but it's Campers Inn. So good looking car there. I like the colors. 17 Castrol. Castrol always brings it. Good looking car here for Chris Buescher. The 21, different look here for the Wood Brothers. It is an all black and gold car here, and Draver. Driver. I'm not exactly sure how you say that. Dravier. I don't know. But Harrison Burton with the number 21 Dravier Ford. I'm going to go Dravier because it sounds fancy. But I think it's Draver there. So yeah, Ford Mustang Dark Horse for the Wood Brothers, all black and gold. Joe Logano in the Shell Pennzoil paint scheme. Let's see. That one really never changes. The Air Force with a mostly gray, but they do have blue on the hood, like a big splash of blue on the hood for Bubba Wallace. Decent looking, but if you're going to go with the gray, I don't know, man. If you're going to go with the gray, can we get the A10 Warthog paint scheme? If you're going to go with that gray, for whatever reason, 2311 loves that primer gray color or whatever. They have some good schemes, but they love to put that primer gray in there. I don't really like this one as much as I like the A10 with the shark's teeth on it or whatever. That one's pretty cool. They need to go back to that one if they're going to go with primer gray. All right, 24 of William Byron. He's got the gray, blue, and red of Valvoline on the side of his car here this weekend. Crycool on the side of Daniel Hemrick. We've seen that one before, but always a bright, colorful car. Good one. 33 Titan Trucks. INS.com for one. Ty Dillon in the number 33 Chevrolet Camaro for Rich Childress Racing. 34 Horizon Hobb. Losi and Loves on the side of Hobby. Horizon Hobby, Losi and Loves on the side of Michael McDowell's number 34 here. The 38 Generator car, a little bit different look. Got the gold on the number here for the generator machine of Mr. Pickle Todd Gilliland. 41 Ryan Priest Haas Tooling car. We've seen that one before. 45 Beast Unleashed. So we've got the Beast Unleashed. It's not the Nasty Beast. It's just the Beast Unleashed this week for your pole sitter, Tyler Reddick, and we'll get to that in just a minute.
47 of Ricky Stenhouse, got the Clinics, blue and white here. 48 Ally, we've seen that one before. 51 FORE, Fraternal Order of Eagles Ford for Justin Haley. Got a little splash of yellow, but mostly a dark gray car. 54 Monster Energy for Ty Gibbs. We've seen that one before. 71 Focused Health, blue and the orange as usual for Zane Smith. 77 Ziegler as usual for Carson Hocevar. And the 99 Freeway.com Chevrolet ZL1 Camaro for Daniel Suarez. That's pretty much his alternate scheme when he's not running his main scheme. So let's go over here. We don't have any numbers to go over, but we do have qualifying. So on the pole is going to be Tyler Reddick and his crew chief, Billy Scott. James Dennis Allen Hamlin starts second with Christopher Gabehart as his crew chief. Chase Elliott rolling off third with Alan Gus Gustafson. William Byron and Rudy Fugle rolling off in fourth. Fifth place for Cliff Daniels and Kyle Larson. Ty Gibbs and Chris Gale rolling off in sixth place there. Ryan Blaney and Jonathan Hassler in the seventh position. Michael McDowell, Travis Peterson in the eighth spot. Number 9 for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Mike Kelly. John Hunter Nemechek in the 10th spot with Ben Bayshore. Justin Alexander and Austin Dillon qualifying in 11th for RCR in the number 3 car. Joey Logano and his team and his crew chief Paul Wolf roll off 12th. Alex Bowman, Blake Harris 13th. Martin Triggs Jr., James Small 14th. AJ Allmendinger and his crew chief Travis Mack rolling off 15th. Harrison Burton, Jeremy Bullins in 16th. Bubba Wallace and Butte Barker in 17th. Christopher Bell, Adam Stevens 18th. Corey LaJoy and Ryan Sparks. He gets what he deserves rolling off 19th. 20th for Richard Boswell and Chase Briscoe. And then the rest of your order is going to be 21, Noah Gregson, Ty Dillon, Chris Buescher, Todd Gilliland, Daniel Suarez, Brad Keselowski, Zane Smith, Ross Chastain, Eric Jones, Carson Hocevar, Ryan Priest, Daniel Hemrick, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, Justin Haley, Cody Ware, Josh Berry, Austin Cindric, and Get Loud for McLeod, BJ McLeod with his crew chief, Carl the Legend Long. All right, let's jump into the chat and see what you guys want to talk about. Don't really have a pick. I mean, you just have to go off of practice and qualifying speeds, and I would Tyler Reddick has to be your favorite. If you want to take, I don't know, what would be a good dark horse here? William Byron would be probably a pretty good dark horse. I don't know if you can call William Byron a dark horse. That's not fair to call him a dark horse. Let's see. I don't know. There's not really any good dark horses. Let me see here. Ty Dillon's not really, or Ty Gibbs is not really. Ty Dillon would be a huge dark horse. Ty Gibbs not really a good dark horse here. Austin Dillon. I'll take Austin Dillon as the dark horse, or Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Michael McDowell, Austin Dillon. I'll take them as my dark horses. John Hunter Nemechek, if you want to consider him a dark horse. I don't, though, because he's in good equipment. Poll question is up. Who do you think will win? Tyler Reddick or Denny Hamlin Hambone, Chase Elliott Jr. the third, or Fast Willie Big Hat in 17%, 33% for William Clyde Elliott Jr. the third. Denny Hamlin, 17 and 33% right now for Reddick. So Reddick and Chase Elliott are tied, as well as Denny Hamlin and Billy Big Hat at 30 votes right now. So let's see what you guys want to talk about. Wise guy saying over under 9 cautions. I'll take the under on that. I'll take the under, even though I think it's going to be a push, says one wise guy. So wise guy going with 9 cautions. Hey, a NASCAR Sunday race with no rain in sight, says Bruce Carr. Oh, don't curse it. Don't curse it, Bruce. But yeah, thank God. Finally, not a rain. No rain in the forecast, at least. Good afternoon. What's up, Camaro? Good to see you on here, my friend. What's up, Mar Barnum? That Reddick car looks pretty flash, says Bogan. Yeah, it's a little bit different than the normal monster scheme, so that it does add a little bit to it. I agree. And makes it a little bit easier to spot with Ty Gibbs in the race as well, running his normal monster scheme. 24 wins on the fours, 1994, 2004, 2014. Let's see if Willie B can get it done today. I mean, that's not a bad pick. I think that's definitely he's got to be one of your favorites. Any of those Hendrick drivers got to be your favorites. Any driver in a Toyota would also have to be your favorite. But Ford has really turned it on here in the second half of the season. So, I mean, Ryan Blaney's up here. Michael McDowell's up there. any of those guys can take it. Joey Logano up there. I mean, you got to take anybody on Team Penske at Indianapolis. Like that's not going to be a shocker, right? So yeah, anybody's race for sure. And there's no way of other than looking at practice speeds and qualifying. There's no way of predicting who's going to be fast and who's not. They just haven't had any time on this track with this particular car, at least in this configuration. What's up, B? Good to see you on here. I believe that's the first race in 13 races with no rain forecasted. I think I don't know if you're right or not, but it feels like it for sure. Todd Gilliland, blackout scheme is the best this weekend, says Bumblebee. I do like the gold number. I do like the gold number on it. So pretty solid. Just remember, folks, we have to bow down to the Olympics for 2 weeks. So yeah, after this race, 2 week break for the Olympics. I'm not taking a break, but NASCAR is. What do the Olympics ever do for NASCAR? Because we shouldn't have to bow down to them, says William Wagaman. They're bowing down to them because NBC spent way more money on the Olympics than they spent probably on anything else. So that's why it's not NASCAR necessarily. It's kind of NBC's deal. Will tires be an issue today, says Perry Earl? Hopefully it won't be an issue like it was in, what was it, 2010, 2000, somewhere, whatever race that was for Jimmy Johnson when they had to change tires every like 10 laps or something. Pulling for the sentimental favorite Briscoe for the SHR Ford sweep and to scramble the playoff standings, says Matt Hunter. Anybody to Chase Briscoe or whoever, anybody to scramble. What if Kyle Busch wins here today? That would be a pretty good scramble too. So Kyle Busch winning would really shake things up for sure. Austin Dillon with the 11th place, that would really shake things up as well. What's up in between the lanes? Will they be able to pass through the wash? Might be a problem, says Bogan. Yeah, I don't know. I am partial of the number 4 Panini Caitlin Clark car. It is a good looking car, and Josh Berry actually talked about it. Like he's pretty stoked to have her on the hood of his car as well, for sure. And he said something about in 3 or 4 weeks he's going to be able to have his daughter's name on his car for some reason. I didn't catch the whole clip. I had to do something, so I couldn't really hear it. But I need to go back and look at that and see what he was talking about. But yeah, he's super stoked to have her on the hood of his car. And I think was it Corey LaJoy? I think he's had at least the Iowa Hawkeyes or maybe something. He had the Iowa Hawkeyes on his car for one race, and he wore a Caitlin Clark jersey. I think is Corey LaJoy. So two crossover races for Caitlin Clark in NASCAR. She's got to be the biggest story in sports this year, I would say. Martin Truex Jr. is going to have some clean air for a little while, says Cody Ledger. Yeah. Martin Truex Jr., you have to put him up in the conversation for sure. There's no doubt about that. We got to talk about how everyone said Xfinity was going to suck and turned out to be one of the finest Indy stock car races I've ever seen. Herbst wins by drifting, the coolest thing. So yeah, all the Riley Herbst people who were like Riley Herbst can't drive, he silenced that for a little bit, at least this weekend. He said, he showed everybody, he's like, hey, look, I'm ready. He showed them that he just continues to improve every single season. So like I said, Riley Herbst, he puts in the hard work, whether you like him or not. You can no longer say that he's just a, not an untalented money driver, I guess is the critique that most people give to him. Beard is looking good. Says, well, I appreciate you, one wise guy. I do my best with it. It does pretty much what it wants to do, but I guess it's acting right today. What is up with the reduced horsepower in yesterday's race? Are the Xfinity cars faster? I think 100%. I think that they would be turning faster laps, and I'm pretty sure that that's why NASCAR has put restrictor plates on them for here and Michigan, and I think one other track. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Anybody see the Pat McAfee show on Friday? Someone by the name of Kyle Rowdy Busch made an appearance on the show. I learned a lot from that appearance, and that is that I get the number 8 special only at Cheddar's. Hey, so there you go. Kyle Busch's order at Cheddar's is the number 8 special. Mike G, too bad NASCAR has to stop for a few weeks because of the Olympics, which no one watches, says Todd G. I don't know. I'm going to watch the track and field, and I'm going to watch the skateboarding. And I don't know. There's always a couple of like random things in there. I like to watch the most obscure parts of the Olympics and track and field. Like track and field, it's once a year. Unfortunately, Usain Bolt is not ageless. I wish he was running in it, but I am going to watch track and field. I do like that. It's racing, so that's the racing that I'm going to watch at the Olympics. BB, do we know if the Pat McAfee show is doing one off with us next year. I don't know. We'll have to get in. We'll have our people call their people and see what's up with that. What's up, Nathan? Good to see you on here, my friend. Who's your first DNF or Earth 2 win here today? That's a good question. That's a good question. Let's take a look here. We've got BJ McLeod. He's a solid candidate. He's going to be a solid candidate. But Jimmy Johnson, I'm going to go with Jimmy Johnson. You know what? I've picked Jimmy Johnson to like have a top 10. I'm going to go the opposite of that. He's proved to me that that's not going to happen. He's proved that he's had absolutely terrible luck. So I'm going to go Jimmy Johnson first on Earth 2. Let's see. Posted it to the Discord, Friday Lanes, Accelerated Graphics. There you go. If you want to buy the merch, the link is right there from One Wise Guy. Much appreciated, One Wise Guy. Briscoe would be a good dark horse. He has an Xfinity win here. He's always run good here too. Yeah, Briscoe, it's a big race for him too. So Briscoe, he's going to do Briscoe things. He really wants to win this race like really bad. So he's either going to wreck or do something insane like cut back when it was the road course, cut 4 lanes of traffic and wreck Denny Hamlin. He's either going to push it and do something crazy like that and destroy his car, or he's going to run really good and have a chance to win. So he's, as always, Kamikaze Briscoe. BB, any Earth 2 predictions on the Brickyard winner? I'm going to go with Jimmy Johnson there, Jamie Schweitzer. John P. BB, I bought a whole roll of bologna at Costco. It's about 14 pounds. I'm going to eat it, watching your videos during the race, and slather in my upper body with French's yellow mustard. That is an image, Johnny P. Yeah, that's what we like to hear, my friend. That's what we like to hear. So much appreciated. Let's see. New Discord link. So yeah, if you want to jump into the Discord, there is the link for it right there. If you want to slather yourself with mustard, feel free to do that as well. So there you go. Make sure it's French's mustard. They could leave it in other networks too. Says Mike G. The NASCAR app for whatever reason didn't show Mayetta, New Jersey legend Martin Truex Jr.'s paint scheme, but I googled it and it was the auto owners insurance, which is a good scheme. So there you go. He's got auto owners. You're right. I didn't even pay attention to that. But yeah, Martin Truex Jr. wasn't in the paint scheme preview, but he's going to be the auto owners. So look out for him. And that is always a good looking scheme. I wonder how many drivers today that will be their first time for the Indy Oval. I don't know. What I was thinking was pretty crazy was Kyle Larson. The Indy Oval to him has to feel like super slow because of the Indy cars he was driving in. And the same thing for was it Connor Daly that drove the 26 in the Xfinity race? It had to feel super slow to him because they just raced the Indy 500 and Indy cars. So it's got to feel like it's taken forever on the straightaways. You're just like, when's the turn coming? Like, it's got to feel like that. Caitlin Clark, Angel, and Enrique destroyed the USA Olympic team last night, says Mark Barnum. For sure. I didn't see the game, but I woke up this morning and that was one of the headlines on the sports page I was looking at. And I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, Caitlin Clark set a record for 10 assists. Angel Reese had a double-double. And Enrique just went crazy. Like, she had a ton of points. So they did their thing. Let's see. What are your thoughts on the Ford development program? We've heard Happy and others already, says One Wise Guy. So I will probably save that episode. I'm trying to save some of these for the off week, just in case the 2 off weeks, I should say. So yeah, but preview to that, he thoroughly trashed Ford's development program. So I thought that was interesting, especially considering he owns a late model team and he's probably going to be part of that development program, or you would think he would want some of that development program money. So it was interesting that he took a strong shot at him like that. Now he's got Brent Cruz right now, so he's locked into the Toyota deal, at least as Brent Cruz is with his car over there. But I did find it interesting. That he had that to say about Ford, who he spent a good chunk of his career with, that he went that hard on their development program. Cassandra Keller, hi y'all from North Idaho. What's up, Cassandra? What's up, North Idaho? 30 years ago, Jeff Gordon won the inaugural race, and the Bodine brothers had their incidents. Ernie blew a tire leading. I forgot about Ernie Irvin blowing the tire leading, but yeah, the Bodine brothers got into each other. That was sort of the original Kyle Busch versus Kurt Busch family drama. The Bodine brothers had it first, and then of course Jeff Gordon getting that first win. After Dale Sr., him and Rick Mast, I think, were on the pole, and Sr. wanted to win the race so bad that he scraped the wall, and that sort of ruined his chances arrow-wise to win the race. I think he still had a solid race, but just wasn't up there competing for the win. If I remember correctly, I could be remembering wrong. Could we see Kyle take out Corey Simon? I don't think we'll see it in this race. This track's way too fast, and I don't think we'll see it until Kyle Busch either gets eliminated from the playoffs, or if he makes the playoffs, we won't probably see it till after Daytona of next season, unless he does it in the Busch Clash or whatever. Chase is en route to have his best Indy Oval run in his career, says Jackhammer JT. Olympics, what about women's beach volleyball? That's always a must-see, says Speedway Anywhere. Imagine the original 24 team win today with that 9. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. I still have a Chase Elliott 24 hat somewhere in here. 103, a high in North Idaho, rare for North Idaho, but no humidity. Go Chase Briscoe, says Cassandra Keller. So she's rooting for old Kamikaze Briscoe. And I do think this is a race that easily Chase Briscoe could win, but it's also a race like I was talking about earlier, like when he cut the field, I could also easily see him wrecking as well. Like it's Chase Briscoe. You just never know what other than 100% maximum effort. You never know what you're going to get with Chase Briscoe. Briscoe and McDowell are dark horses because they drive Ford Mustang dark horses. Yeah, I like both of those dark horse picks for sure. Hey, BB, happy race day. What's up, Glen Park? Happy race day to you as well, my friend. Did you see Ty Majeski win the truck race Friday, says Dawson Fair? I did see the very end of it for sure. So good win for Ty Majeski there. Hi, Cassandra, says Mark Barnum. Kyle Busch channels his inner Jimmy Spencer and gives Corey LaJoy and Kurt Busch treatment for the win on Earth 2, says Cody Ledger. So that would be interesting. I don't think he'll do it at this track, but you never know. Corey LaJoy sure didn't mind doing it to him at a high-speed track, which is Pocono. So I don't know. You never know. If I got my record 5 overtime winner Joey Logano t-shirt from Nashville yesterday, says Jamie Schweitzer, there you go. 5 overtimes, and Joey Logano finally got it done when they finally wanted to finish the race. My dark horse got a strange feeling telling me Justin Haley. I know, crazy, right? I don't think picking Justin Haley at any track is crazy, to be totally honest with you. So I like the cut of your jib there, Walter Flair. Fiat update during the 2-week break. I'll tell you what, I will give you an update on the Fiat during the 2-week break. It's a piece of junk, so there's your spoiler alert. Jackhammer JT, we got ARCA and Flow Racing for the next 2 weeks. Can't wait to be down there in Daytona though, says Jackhammer. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting what happens on the 2-week break. We don't know for sure, but there's a pretty good rumor out there that NASCAR is going to release the schedule, so we'll at least have that to talk about. I could also see Kyle pulling a Dale Jr. at Richmond and takes Corey out, says Jackhammer. Yeah, definitely could see that. 08 summer race, I believe, says Jackhammer. Any info on where Ryan Preece ends up? I think you're right. It was 08. I think it was 08 at Richmond for sure. And that's when Kyle Busch really became like a super villain because he took out Dale Jr. Let's see. Any info on where Ryan Preece ends up? He's another potential dark horse, hoping he ends up joining Haley at Rick Ware Racing in the 15. Yeah, I haven't really heard anything about him. Like nobody, he's probably out there hunting for a ride, but I really have not heard any rumors linking him to anybody at all. So hopefully he does get a ride. I do think he has talent. I just feel like the 41 car over there is cursed. It's been cursed since Kurt Busch jumped out of it. So I don't know, but I hope he does get a ride. Corey has it coming next season. I'd bet money on it, says one wise guy. Yeah, I think it'll be next season if Kyle Busch doesn't make the playoffs this year, which he's basically got to win a race to do. Can we talk about how Corey Haim's bad attitude is why he's not going to Cup yet? He wouldn't let the most innocent of contact with Eckes go to the point he ruined his own race, says Bumblebee. Yeah, he's got to get the, what do they call it, the red mist. He's got to get the anger issues under control for sure. At some point, you got to look bigger picture, and you got to realize that there's a bigger picture. Points, and of course, taking yourself out of the race is not going to help you win a race. So yeah, you got to look bigger picture, and he's got to get better at calming himself down when those situations arise. Deegan and her 16-year-old teammate finished 6th in the Speed Tour All-Star race at Lime Rock for sure. Pretty star-studded event, and I'll tell you what I learned from that Lime Rock event when I looked up the results.
There is a Boris Said and there is a Boris Said Jr. So Said heads rejoice. Boris Said Jr. is a race car driver and he will continue the legacy. So Said heads will continue to be a thing for many, many years to come. But yeah, Haley Deegan finished 11th in her race, and the Mayer kid finished 6th or somewhere in there, but they ended up finishing 6th overall as well. And Scott Speed was in there. I saw Mike Skinner. I saw Hornaday. I saw Danny Sullivan. I mean, just Bobby Labonte was in there. I mean, there was all kinds of drivers in there that are definitely superstars. So yeah, it was a stout field, and everybody did a good job. Tristan McKee was in there. He's the guy that raced at Orange County. He's a super young kid. Didn't have the finish he wanted. I'm pretty sure something happened, but he's a driver I'm familiar with. I saw Connor Mosak in there as well. Annuncia. I can't pronounce his last name, but he was in there anyway. Priest was talked about at Haas, but Rick Ware Racing is likely, says Jackhammer. Yeah, so 100%. Any late model racing the next 2 weekends for you? I don't know. I'm sure one of those will be South Boston, but I'm not exactly sure if we have something for the other dates off the top of my head. Did have the big one here, the Hampton Heat this weekend, part of the Virginia Triple Crown. Dale Jr. finished 5th, but right in front of him, finishing in 4th place, was Landon Pimbleton, who started 31st in that race and worked his way all the way up to 4th. So I just want to give a shout out to my buddy Landon. He did a great job, and I'm super proud of him. In 2020, we were working with him, and he's a really cool, really nice kid, really nice family, super great situation to work in. So whenever they do well, I'm always happy for them. He raced a little bit of ARCA. He's a really good driver. I hope he gets a shot at the next level. And he's also the youngest winner in the late model race of all time at Martinsville. So he's a really good driver, and hopefully more good things come to him in his future. And Dale Jr. was wearing out his back bumper. I'll tell you what, Junior, next time you touch somebody's rear end that much, you should at least buy him dinner. So we'll end it on that and move on to the comments. But congratulations to Landon Pimbleton. Congratulations to Butterbean for winning. But Landon Pimbleton, man, 30 and that's one of the biggest races. And for him to go from 31st to 4th, that is a huge move because it's nothing but really quality late model drivers in that. So shout out to both of those guys there, and shout out to Junior, who just does it part time and finished 5th. So good race to everybody that finished well in that one. It's not an easy thing to do. Also a really hot racetrack. I like JJ Haley too. Sometimes pulls one out of the hat. Very impressed by SVG and Connor Daly yesterday, says Greg Brown. For sure. SVG with a really good finish at an oval. You can see that he's starting to put it together, and he's going to be quite dangerous once he figures out these ovals. Joey has a habit of being the winner of new tracks and new races, says Jamie Schweitzer. I agree. You can never count out Joey Logano when it's a track that we haven't been to yet, or at least with this configuration of the car. What's your favorite diecast? Behind you, says Jake McVeigh. It'll either be the Larson one or the Kevin Harvick one. The 29 Larson right there, or the 29 Harvick, or the 5 Las Vegas for Larson. I don't know. They're kind of up there. Good job to Deegan, says Bumblebee, for sure. Got some positive momentum after everything that went down. So good for her for sure. Kyle Busch may pull a Kyle Busch on Corey LaJoy and then blame it on Recky Spenthouse. What a great time to be a fan, says Ken. Maybe we see some respect today. I doubt it, says Benjamin Lewis. Yeah, I doubt it too. It's too much on the line. Nobody's going to drive with respect. They're all just going to want to get this crown jewel here. Hey, what up, BB? Finish was interesting yesterday, but worry NASCAR will go back to the low horsepower agenda, says Chrome Diesel. Yeah, NASCAR is always trying to lower the horsepower for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why they want to do that. They make up all kinds of excuses, but it is what it is. With a faster car, a man could wreck anyone he wants today at Indy, says Benjamin Lewis. Howdy from the Great White North, late and busy with stuff at the moment, but checking in to say go Ross go, says Robin Marks. What's up, Robin Marks? What's up, Canada? And yeah, Ross Chastain, I wouldn't count him out either. I wouldn't count out anybody from Trackhouse ever. Going to the Olympic break, SCAP with IMSA, World Endurance, WEC, Fanatic,
Fanatic GT3 plus 4 and Trans Am races, says Matt Hunter. So yeah, there will be plenty of racing, and there'll be plenty of grassroots racing as well. So check out all of that as it comes. Drivers today catch so much heat because camera / phones are everywhere, says Brickyard Brickhead. Yeah, for sure. And after the race, Corey Heim, to me, it was just a normal driver conversation after the race. So I don't think there was a whole lot there as far as the conversation goes, but you got to keep your head in the game when you're actually on the racetrack, for sure. BB, if no charter agreement in place, is there a chance of a boycott at Daytona next year? Seems like Hamlin made a veiled threat, says Bruce Garvey. Yep, and I've got that episode queued up for the break as well. For sure, he was on the Kenny Wallace show talking about that, and I'm going to go over that at that point. But yeah, I felt the same way. I feel from his tone and his demeanor, I feel like he thinks we're going to go to a split if NASCAR doesn't bring more to the table. William Wagaman says, I'm going to take my 2-week break to watch sprint cars and late models on dirt, but that's on a weekly basis anyway. So yeah, I understand. BB, where you guess KFB winds up today? I'm saying top 15. I think he'll get a top 15 today. I watched SVG all day yesterday. He did really well. He will win an oval, says Benjamin Lewis. Time to eat, y'all. Come on and get your pork chop. I'm making my first ever Chicago deep dish pizza, so I'm doing that as soon as I get off here. Let's see, a skull with a combination of wrenches on your shirt looks cool, man. Yeah, it's a Chevrolet shirt. I got at the Chevrolet always has a merch dealer at Martinsville, so that's where this one came from. Is Rick Hendrick waving the flag or driving the pace car? I thought he was driving the pace car from what I remember. So I think he's driving the pace car, but I could be wrong about that. I don't have it right here in front of me. Mike G saying, pork chops. See y'all tonight, says B. Later, B. Pork chops for everybody. Yummy, says William Wagaman. I confirmed it. Mr. H is driving the pace car today, says Jamie Schweitzer. So yeah, there you go. He is driving the pace car. Chase Elliott Jr. the third with 33%, barely edges out Tyler Reddick in the poll, who has 32%. So that is who you guys think is going to win this weekend of the 4 options that I gave you. And Chrome Diesel saying was camping for a few days, cooked some crawfish broil. Crawfish broil is definitely really, really good. And that looks like that's the end of the chat. So I'll check you guys after the race. I'm going to go make me some lunch / dinner. And then we'll good luck to your driver, and we'll check you out after the race. Peace.